Hey there, happy Monday everyone. Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, tonight we are going back to the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt. This is the fourth full week of the month, and for the fourth full week of the month, the first 2 days, I'm going to be working on the Splendid Sampler 2. We still need to make it through this quilt, and then the next couple days, we will let it be more of a free day. Free rest of the week. So this week I definitely want to get my darning tool out, my new Speed Weaver loom, and we will give that a try and do some darning on my mittens, I think. So I haven't used it yet, and I want to do it here with you guys. But we're going to get in the habit of working on the Splendid Sampler 2 for a day or two at the beginning of the week here. So all right, you guys, let's get started. Okay, so here we are tonight. We are back on the Splendid Sampler 2. So this is that book that we are working on every single block. There is 100 blocks in this, and I think I had a running tally. Oh, we have 29 unfinished ones left. So we're getting there, you guys. 29 more. Oh my God, that's still like 2 years worth of work, though, maybe. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, today's block, I'm just going down the list at this point. So today's block is going to be the little things. So it's applique. I think I'm going to do it raw edge applique. This is needle turn, and just for the sake of getting it done quickly, which is the mode I'm in now for this project, I want to do raw edge applique. We'll use a fusible web. We'll use our light Steam-A-Seam 2. I think I've only used this like one other time. It's the lighter version of the Steam-A-Seam 2 that we've used in the past. It's been sitting open, so hopefully it still works fine. So tonight we'll prep. We'll do some prep. I don't think we'll get to any sewing, but we'll get started prepping our pieces for this, and I'm hoping we can get to some sewing as we go. So, alrighty. I did print out 2 photocopies of it, just in case I needed to. I think we might be okay with one, but we'll see how it goes. So, all right, and this was from the fold-out sheets in the back of the book there. Hooey, man, it's been a while since we've been doing this here, hasn't it? So, I think, first things first, we're going to want to pick out some fabrics. However, I know for sure that I want white for the background, so I think I might just go ahead and get the white and then trace the design to it right away. And then maybe we can choose some of the other colors. And this might actually be a really nice opportunity to use some of our scraps, because all these little things could totally be a different scrap. I'd love to maybe give that a try. So let's just get our white for now and see what we do next after that. I'm going to use all my extra blocks as a bookmark. How many do we have these done? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's good enough to make one bigger block. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so after we finish this block, we should have enough to make like another quilt as you go. We should have enough to make 2, actually, quilt as you go. Look at this. Here's another little coffee mug. So we're doing another one of those today, basically. So, all right, that'd be great if we could get one more done, and then we can get to like quilting these little buggers again. Okay. Oh yeah, I was using those as my bookmark in case this fell shut on me. So, all right. In my fabric bin here for this project, so we need like approximately a 7-inch square out of this for the background. I don't think it has to be perfect. Right here, I think, is where I'll get it out. So let's get I suppose let's press this a little bit first. I'm going to grab the bigger ruler here. Okay. See if this is 7 inches. Yeah, we should be good here. So let's give this a press. And I'm just going to quickly trim out a bit here. We started with perfectly nice pieces. I think I'm just going to use a scissors too. Like nice, big, perfect fat quarters and stuff for this project. But now we're down to all the little scraps. So this doesn't need to be perfect. Because we will trim it down in the end, but I do kind of want to still find the center. So maybe I should just cut it out perfect, but I think this is kind of okay doing it this way too. We can still fold it in half both ways to find the center. My table's just too busy. I didn't want to get a whole rotary cutter out. All right. Let's give that one more little press. And actually, I might give it a little press on the end so we can align this thing, like get this, get our design centered here. So I'm just getting little guidelines pressed into here. I have the sewing machine up here again. It's funny to have all this stuff out. Okay, so I have some center lines in there. So I'm going to play with this new light table that I have. It's one of these just like little light tables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this design onto here. And what that will do is it'll help me place my appliques later, and we also have some embroidery in here, so we'll be basically getting those embroidered lines on right away too. So I don't think I'm going to bother taping anything down. We're not doing much, I don't think. And I could just roughly put in where these are. It doesn't have to be traced perfectly. It just is a guide. Let's see. On. There we go. I think that's the brightest. So I do want it sort of centered in here. So I'm just going to kind of estimate. Okay, a little lower. So this piece is much bigger than I needed. This will end up being like 6.5 inches, and I made it way bigger than that. So I think we got a little cutout here. Let's just scooch it over. There. I think that's pretty decent. So let's just give it a very rough, quick trace, and we'll be good. The thing I want to trace the best are these embroidered lines, I think. Actually, these applique pieces I might actually just trace towards the inside, because then my applique pieces will cover them up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I am going to go over these embroidered lines. The stems are going to be embroidered. I want to go over those well. The rest can just be sort of generally placed in there. Ooh, it actually might be a good idea. These are all labeled. Maybe I label them with this marker too. I don't know. All of our applique pieces are labeled here. So I don't think this will take very long. So we need to also cut out these shapes. And I think that will be next. Haven't done raw edge applique with the Fusible in a while, so I'll have to just review that. last week of the month, you guys. 2020 is well on its way, I think. 2022, jeez. I don't even know what year it is. Okay, one last line. All right, that was pretty painless. Let's turn that off again. There we go. And let's go ahead and I think maybe label them. Yeah, I think let's go ahead and do that. So it's heart 1, heart 2, but I'm just going to label it 1, 1, 2, and then when I make the pieces, I'll label them as well. I'm not sure I really need to do this, but we're doing these late at night, and I might get confused, so anything for me to not get confused is good. Okay. Okay, and then the leaves are labeled as well. So let's do A, B, C, D, E, and F. All right. So that is situated. All right, so next up, man, I think I might have only needed one of these printouts, but we'll see. So next up, I need to cut out these pieces. I could probably just trace directly to, yeah, let's try that. I think I can trace these directly to the stick and stitch. I think I might use a pencil for that, though. Pencil. There, found one. Good. It's an old school pencil. Oh, look, I got a, there we go. We actually got a sheet that's used already. Good, and I can probably use that pretty well. The trick for this though is I need to trace these in reverse. So I am going to use my light table again. For raw edge applique, you need to flip all your pieces. So I didn't flip it for this because it'll end up being the right direction. But to trace them onto the stick and stitch, the steam-a-seam here, I'm gonna want to flip them. Sometimes they're pre-flipped, but in this case, I think the intention was for it to be just a needle turn applique. So, all right. You know, last time though, I think it was, well, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's easier to cut out or to do it on the other side, the side without the yellow lines, but we're going to do it here. So, all right, tracing onto this. So now I'm flipped. So this is heart number 5. Next, we're going to pick fabrics for all of these. So I'm just trying to like fit them all on here. I want a little bit of distance in between them. We'll start with all the hearts. Okay, that's 4. So we could be any which way here, but I just need to leave that like half-inch gap or so. Three. 5, 4, 3, yep, okay. 2. We will sew all these down with the machine too. 2. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend. Ooh, I spent the weekend stitching up the sample for the next embroidery of the month, you guys. So that will be coming out next week already. Isn't that crazy? February. You could put the cut pieces on the second copy to keep track of them. Oh, that's true, Linda. Yeah, I could have just looked at it, and I think we would have been fine, probably. All right, so let's get all these little leaves. Oh, I forgot, we got to do the whole cup and everything, too. But let's get the leaves. I'm like, yeah, just hearts and leaves, but there's the whole cup. Okay, this is F. Sneak that guy in there. If we did this needle turn applique, there's so many pieces, this would have taken us weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to do. So we're speeding it up with the raw edge applique. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can squeeze in B right here. B and A. Oops, I almost didn't write it. All right, now let's get our other pieces. All right, so this looks like just one big shape, the cup, and then we add that little line through it. So that'll be easy. Okay, kind of a fun shape. This is a little difficult to see through and trace through, but it's fine. Good enough. Cute little scalloped edge. Ooh, that would have been tough for needle turn applique. It would have been fine, but we would have figured it out, but it would have taken a while. All right, I'm going to just write an arrow on here, which way is up. And now the handle. Oh, I'm glad we were able to fit all this in this little extra sheet here. Let's see if we can squeeze it in this little place. There we are. Oh, so now for raw edge applique, I do need a little bit extra for overlapping items, which I guess is only this handle. So I'm going to I'll even draw a little dotted line, and I'm going to make it go a little over, because then we can tuck it behind the cup. There we are. Yep, all right, so there's all of our pieces. Easy peasy. Next up, we are gonna cut those out. Are you doing the heat and bond to stop the fray? Yes, so I'm going to use, Robin, the Steam-A-Seam 2, the light version. So Steam-A-Seam 2, it's a crazy name, and it's the light version. So that is what I'm using tonight, and I had this extra sheet out, and I don't need it. That's fabulous. So I think I've only used this that one other time. I've used the non-light version, and the reason I switched to the light when that ran out is because people recommended that you could actually embroider through this by hand, whereas we tried that with the other, the Steam-A-Seam 2, just the normal one, the non-light one, and it was really, really difficult to stitch through. Like, I'm never gonna hand stitch through that again. So, all right. So let's cut these out. Oh, yes, sorry, Robin. There's a Robin over on Facebook. All right. Oh, and I think, all right, now I'm checking your guys' comments and stuff. Okay. When I have large pieces like the cup, you will cut some of the other pieces out. Oh, of the center. Oh, that's true. Yes, so we could do that. Oh, you mean you put some of these in the center? Yeah, that would have been smart. Oh well. Yeah, because with the steam-a-seam, I probably wouldn't need a huge piece like this. I could just do a little bit, but I don't know. Now that I've done it, I think I'll just leave it as is. All right. Oh, a hint, please, for the next embroidery of the month. Let's see. What's a hint? So this may be a little bit more, like, I would categorize this as a slightly more difficult one than we've been doing, but still totally doable. And it might actually take us a tish longer to do, but I'm really excited about it. So that's not a big hint, but it is very dense with stitches. So, all right. So I am cutting them out, but I am leaving like a little bit of an edge, like an 1/8 of an inch edge. I'm not really, going too hardcore for it being perfect. When we cut out, once we fuse this to fabric and we cut out these lines, then everything is going to be perfect. But right now, I don't have to worry about it. Gretchen says, "Ooh, I'm hooked. Wrap mine up." Will do. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Is I'm going to be making all the instructions and stuff for it. Oh, that's another clue. There's a little bit extra to the instructions, but in a fun way. I think this is going to be a really neat one. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Oh, April says I haven't been able to join live for a while. Oh, I'm happy you're here. I know, so glad I got back to the Splendid Sampler too. I know, we're not leaving this guy behind. It's gonna get done slowly but surely. So I'm gonna keep these pieces yet. This guy and this little. Well, you know what? You never know when you need a tiny little applique piece. So I'm gonna save both of those pieces. Ooh, where did this guy come from? Oh, that must be another little piece that I saved. All right, this is the part where my pieces, I gotta keep track of them so they don't all disappear. I'm gonna just start out by cutting all these out. Well, I'm gonna just cut them out individually, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I was gonna just cut them, like chunk them all out in a pile, but now I'll just cut them out little by little. So that's why I didn't want to butt them up right against each other on my little sheet here, because I do need that little edge on each. Again, this cutting does not have to be perfect. I don't want it huge though, like I don't want to just have this whole piece big, because we're going to be putting these on different pieces of fabric, and I, don't want to waste tons of fabric either. Oh, Catherine says, I love the Splendid Sampler too as well. Yeah, we still have, we did a count last time, and and according to the count, assuming it's correct, we have 29 more blocks, so this will be, after this one, we'll have 28 left. And then obviously to finish the quilt and everything. But this quilt is a bit different than the other quilts we have unfinished laying around here, because this one we are quilting as we go. So when we finish, we're like way closer to being done once the blocks are done. Oh, Arloa! Oh, that's weird. I'm glad you made it today. April said that she hasn't been able to get on for a while either. Have I decided what February is? Yep, I drew and stitched February this weekend for the sample. That's a little closer to the deadline than I usually like being for embroidery of the months. Trying to get a little ahead on those, but I just finished up February's this weekend, and I really like it. It's going to be a fun one. I think you guys will like it. So that'll be Tuesday. Monday, no, not Tuesday. Wait. I mean next week, not tomorrow. Yeah, next week, Tuesday, I think is February 1st already, you guys. Holy cow. And then Monday, next Monday, we'll be starting on the 31st, the ABC quilt, or the ABC stitch along. I'm figuring out the quilt dimensions and stuff, how I'm going to do it quilt as you go, very similar to how I'm doing this Splendid Sampler 2 quilt. And if you guys want to follow along and do a quilt as you go quilt with the alphabet as well, I'll have the measurements and fabric stuff figured out real soon here. And we'll send an email and stuff with all that. All right, last little piece. There we go. Okay, now we can pick the fabric colors, so that's going to be fun. All right, so let's get my little bin out. Actually, you know what? Let's put things away as we go. I feel like all this quilt stuff just like takes up all my space, and then my table just explodes with things. So you know what? When I'm done with the steam-a-seam, let's just put it away right away. Usually I let my table explode over the week, but it's driving me nuts already, and we barely even started. So, okay. Here we have the white, and I do have this, like, I wonder if we can get anything out of here. So I started collecting all our little offcuts when we, from the different blocks. I just kept putting them in this bag, and then I just stopped doing that. But let's maybe pick it up again. So we can just see what kind of colors we want. And I kind of think we can do all different things. Hey, and you know what? This might be big enough for our teacup. Woo! Look at it. So we could do a blue teacup maybe, and then maybe we'll just let this one be whatever it ends up being. Like if this ends up being a colorful one, that's good. I'm going for like a blonde quilt, so most of my fabrics are a light colored. You can kind of see just paging through these. They're very light, like tan and yellows. And then every once in a while, I add a spark of color, theoretically every 5 blocks or so. But I don't know. That sounds like work. Let's just pick what's fun from here today. And I do kind of like the little blue teacup, so I think let's go with this right away. And you know what? We could just fuse these as we go. Kind of tempted to do that. Let's just get our general colors first. So the teacup will be blue. I usually pick colors as I go, or before I do everything with the blocks. So, but I think all the hearts could be a similar feel, and then the leaves could be a similar feel. So maybe the hearts are all in the bright yellow range, because we have yellows. See, we have some cute yellows, and then maybe well, let's just see what we got for scraps here. Oh, these are sewn together things. Let's not use those. But the leaves could be more of the tans, maybe. Oh, we're just going to make a huge mess here, I think. Look at all these fun scraps. So those are some good yellows. I think it's okay if we just make them all different colors. That'd be kind of cool. Or different fabrics, I mean. All right, here's some tans. These could be leaves. Then we need another, here we go. Ooh, is this big enough for anything? Is this big enough for our handle? No, because this would be perfect for the handle. I'm going to actually use non-scraps for this because I think it'd be fun. This is almost, this blue is almost like the opposite of this. I think we do it for the handle and for that little stripe on it. I think that'd be kind of fun. Do with these two colors. Should the handle be a different color than the cup? I think I'm going to make it a different color. So these are going to be the stripe and the handle. This will be the cup. That's really cute together. Okay, so I want 5 different yellows for the hearts. Just digging through the scrap bin some more. I might not have as many scraps in here as I thought. No, that's a little sewn piece. Oh, this is cute. No, that's too small. Oh, maybe I won't do it this way. We should be able to get some leaves out of here. Oh, Arloa, that's exciting. Hopefully that's going well. It's a cute little one for a leaf. All right, I think I might just get started. I need like lots more fabric, but let's just, there's some things I know and I kind of want to get them out of the way. So let's just start with these and kind of work our way through this a little bit. So, all right. Then we can just have the clear table here. So I'm going to get my iron hot again, and let's get the pressing mat here. And what I'm going to do is we are going to fuse this to the back of our piece here. So remember, we traced these in the wrong direction, the wrong side of the fabric, so we got to like glue them to the wrong side. And then when we flip them, they'll be the correct side. So I'm going to press this first just to get it flat, but it looks like I can get it right in here really nicely. And then we can cut that out right away. So we could just go little, like piece by piece through this. That might be nice. So we'll just do it as we go. Theoretically, I could just stick this on right away. I would need the handle first because that's going to be tucked behind. So I'm going to leave the side. The Steam Seam 2 is nice because it actually acts like a sticker. Not all of these fusibles act like that. But this one does, and that's why I kind of like it. So I'm going to pull off the back side, which may be a big pain, but we'll get it. There we go. There's like it's sticky on both sides, and it's fusible on both sides, which is what we want. So that's the backing paper of the side that we didn't draw on. So now I'm going to just stick it down, right like so. And to get the full fuse, I'm going to just put my iron on the back, and we will trim this out. And that will be our first piece ready to go, and then we can get it out of the way. All right, and we're going to be giving it another fuse when we're done. So I'm not too worried about if we didn't fuse it great here. Plus, it's stuck down with that sticky side. So just getting that out of the way, one thing out of the way already. And I'm going to trim this out right away. That pencil line is kind of coming off. All right. Now this is where the really nice cutting has to happen, because this is going to be the actual edge. We're going to leave this edge raw, which means we're not tucking it under or anything. So eventually, like over time, this will just soften and fray a little bit like in the wash, but it kind of looks pretty like that. Nice and handmade. So we'll sew it down to secure it as well. but this is like my final edge, so I want it to be nice. I'm going slow. But we do have that sticky side on the other side, so I can probably pull this off and stick it on our piece right away. And I can just pull up the little edge where we tuck the, where we can tuck the handle underneath. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Usually I get all these pieces ready all at once, but I'm just feeling like, let's go one by one and just do it. Okay. Look how cute! This is gonna be so neat when it's done. All right, garbage, garbage. So you don't want to save any scraps that have that fusible on. I might actually save this little piece. So I cut the fusible part off because you don't want that getting on your iron on accident. So I'm just gonna toss any piece that has fusible on. And then we're left with this. And I am gonna go ahead and stick it on our piece. So that's why we drew it in reverse, because now we're gonna flip it and it's gonna be not in reverse anymore. It's gonna be so cute. So that's gonna go right there, and we can do that right away. So let's, because this is sticky on the back, so I'm gonna put an X in the middle and we will pull this fabric off. And I'm putting an X in the middle so I'm not picking at the edges to get the paper off, because that edge is like our nice perfect edge, right? So I don't wanna hurt the edge, so I'm just gonna try and put an X in the middle here. There we go. And we'll pull the paper off from the center out, but then it gets all staticky. Oh, these are all gonna stick to me. There, and then again, the nice thing about the Steam-A-Seam is that this is actually sticky. A lot of times this won't be sticky, so you have to kind of place it and then press it down right away, iron it right away, but this, I can stick it in place, and I can always scooch it around to the right spot before I do my final fuse. Oh my god, that's the cutest cup ever! Ugh! Okay, I'm loving this fabric. So, alright, that looks pretty good. Let's do the handle and the stripe right away, and then basically the cup will be done. This is great. Yeah, and then we can go one by one through the hearts and the leaves, get them all stuck on, and then when it's all good, then we'll press it, our final press. Yeah, Catherine says, I really like this about the Steam-A-Seam. You can reposition. Yeah, that's what's awesome. Like, you know, I wouldn't be able to just do this with any other fusible, because it would just fall off there, because it wouldn't be sticking until the final fuse with the iron. But, you know, this is just sticks like a sticker, and I can move it around and whatever, and reposition it and whatever, and it's not gonna, like, I don't have to put all of these down and like get it really quick with the iron and hope nothing moves. That's the beauty of having the sticky bit. Ooh, we have lots of this fabric left. Okay, so I'm going to do the handle and the little stripey with this. And I think I'm going to go at an angle just so, because these have like a bunch of cute dots on, and I think that'd be fun if they were at an angle a little bit. Just slightly, just so we don't have to like try and make it perfect, like in line. So, all right, let's do our, this is that stripe. Oh, see, it always wants to stick on the wrong side, the other side than what I drew on, but we'll get it. It wants to separate from the paper. The other paper. There. Okay, let's go right like so. And it sticks on this side too, so I can shimmy this around wherever too until I'm ready. Let's get the handle. Ooh, you guys, we got more tatting shuttles in stock today. So if you've been waiting for one of those, I know we were out again for a little. I plopped them back in. Ugh, I can't get it from that part. There we go. Okay. Let's do this one maybe right like so. Okay, let's give it a press. We're now fusing it to the fabric, and I just freaked myself out. I'm like, oh, did I put it on the back or the front? So you always want to remember, like with raw edge, you're fusing it to the back, the wrong side of the fabric first. Okay, good enough. I have done that wrong before, and that's a bummer. So I'm just trimming it out so I don't have to trim it out of the huge piece of fabric. Okay, now again, it's like the nice cuts that I need to do. So I'm gonna go try and get right on this line. Okay, and I'm gonna go back the other way. I cut that a little thinner than I needed to, but luckily it's just kind of like a little abstract line, like it's not perfectly parallel, and I think we'll get it. All right, so that's one piece. Let's cut this other piece out while we're at it. Okay, all my little scraps. I think we'll totally get to sewing this tomorrow. We might actually even finish this tomorrow. That would be ideal. Ideally, with the Splendid Sampler, doing it in the last week of the month here, I'd still like to get a block done, but, you know, not all the blocks can be done very quickly, so I'm sure we'll have some very in-depth quilt blocks for this project yet. So I figured we'll go 2 days, and then we'll have fun with other, like, finish it projects, unfinished deals that we work on for the rest of the week, the final week of the month. Why does this seem weird? Uh-oh. You guys. Oh wait, but I can reposition it. I didn't fuse this down yet. I'm like, why does this look like it's in reverse? It's because my page is flipped over here. I'm supposed to put it on this side, but luckily this is not fused down yet. Oh my god, freaked out. Oh, it is one of these deals today, I guess. There, now I have it on the correct side. Sheesh. The beauty of being able to reposition these. I'm like cutting this out and I'm like, wait a sec, that ain't right. Glad we caught that before actually fusing it down. That would have been a big bummer. Gretchen says, haha, it's late. Yeah, I know, that's the deal. Like, I feel like words are leaving me, and math is leaving me, and apparently spatial reasoning. All right. Glad we caught that. Okay, there's our scrap pieces. I think let's do this handle first. Look how cute that is, though, cut out. So this, again, I want to just scratch the back of it. Let's try right here, just because I spent time on those nice edges. I don't want to get rid of those. Oh yay, Marsha got some shuttles. That's fun. I do want to do more tatting projects coming up here. Like, I really want to do that that shuttle, that fun little the pattern that looks like a shuttle. Ugh, gosh, these are just sticking to me. And it's not because they're sticky, it's because they're staticky from pulling them off of the other piece. There we go. Okay, so now this I want to tuck under this piece. So I'm going to lift this piece up again. And I'm going to just kind of, let's use my stiletto here to help position everything. Come on. All right, I think that looks decent. Get the fuzzles out of there, and this will go over the top there. Oh, cute! So then it looks like the front of it, the handle ends are tucked underneath. And then we have the little stripe on it, and I think that's right above the handle there. It's probably wherever the edges meet, so let's do an X on this. Oh, Absolute Goblin says, I got a vintage shuttle for my birthday. Oh my gosh, you know what? Now whenever I go to like a thrift shop or antique store, I'm totally going to be on the lookout for shuttles. Now that I know what they are and how to use them, now I want all the cute antique ones. How fun would that be, just discovering those and getting them from antique stores and stuff. Ah, static. Okay, there we are. All right, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to try and get a little bit above, though. I want to make sure that I'm getting this in the right spot. I think I'm going to just let's get one side. We can kind of pivot and move it a little bit. There, that's looking pretty good right there. Oh, it's so cute. I love how subtle the different blues are, but it's just there. Ugh, okay, love it so far. I think we're ready to fuse that down. So I think let's do the final fuse, because nothing else overlaps with it. I am now correctly oriented. So let's just go ahead and fuse that. We'll consistently fuse it more when we press all the other ones down. But yeah, this is one thing we don't have to worry about. And now we can go and pick out the heart colors and stuff. Good. Yay! All right. So there we are. It is looking adorable. Love those blues together. That works out perfectly. Ah, cool. All right. Now let's address some of these other little dudes. So it's all hearts and stuff. So I started picking out all those little colors, and that was more annoying to look in that bag for this stuff than I thought it was going to be. So, but we did find some. So let's just kind of start setting them nearby so we can get sort of like an idea of what it'll look like, and we can move things around if we need to. But it's fun that we'll be able to use scraps. So here, let's get like this guy can go in there. Then we got this one. Let's see, what other colors, yellow colors, do I have in my bin here that we can use up? Maybe some of this orange. Oh, that's a little scrappy piece. It's kind of fun. And then the leaves can be more of these tans. So we'll come back with some of these tans, but maybe let's just make final decisions on the flowers and then move on. Like do the not the flowers, the hearts that are flowers, and then we'll worry about the leaves after. So here's, man, all of this, all my pieces are so scrappy at this time in the quilt. So there's 100 different blocks, and we started, like I picked all my fabric beforehand. So we have been working through these pieces of fabric. I mean, this probably used to be a fat quarter. So we've been working through the fabric through this whole entire quilt, and oh, that's cute. And we're finally getting down to all I have is like this tiny little piece left. So can we get 29 more pieces out of this, 29 more quilt blocks out of this? I'm thinking we can. Oh, there we go. There, so there, that's 5 different yellows. I kind of like that. These are very similar, but they are different. I think let's just go with it. Let's totally go with it. So, all right. This is going to be a whole deal, though, because we're going one at a time, and they're all different fabrics. So let's grab all our hearts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. That's accomplishment 1. We still have all of our little pieces. All right, let's go in order. So let's start with number 1. So this is going to be our 1 fabric. We need our iron on again, or our pressing mat. Okay, let's find, oh, and we got to put it on the wrong side of the fabric here. So where do we think this can fit? I'm kind of thinking way down at this end. That's a good scrappy area. Ugh, that blue is so freaking cute for a teacup. And it makes sense, too, because it's like that, what is that called? Deftware, or, ugh, we always talk about this, and I can never remember what it's called. Those blue, the blue teacups. It's called something. All right, so I'm taking that back off of here again. So it's wanting to stick to the wrong side, so I gotta get my nails in there. Oh, come on. There we go, now we got it. So exposing that sticky side, let's squeeze it on in here. There we go. We can fuse, and then we can cut that out. I think you do this for like 10 seconds or so, but we'll be getting it again when it's done, the final one. The final press, so I'm not too worried about it being perfect right now. Just because it is sticky as well. So, all right, let's cut out this cute heart. And I think we just place it on there right away. This is fun doing it this way. I don't think I've done it this way yet, where I just, like, let's do one piece and then let's stick it on, and before we make a decision on the next piece, and then let's finish that one and stick it on. I usually like plan it all out a little bit more. This is kind of fun, though. I like doing it this way. And it's, you know, different colors and stuff, so it can be mix and matchy, so whatever we do, it's going to be fine. All right, let's put our little X on the back and stick it onto our guy right away. So maybe we'll try, and it's already 9:23. Maybe we'll try and finish these hearts tonight, at least most of them, and then tomorrow we will do the leaves. Maybe like so. I don't know if this was smart, me like doing the water-soluble pen. I'm hoping that I can get it out. You know, once it goes through the wash once, we'll be fine. All right, there's that. Let's do the second one. There we go. Two. Yep, that fits. Probably should have checked that first, huh? If this is too hard to pick out with my fingers, I'll try and do it with the stiletto. Usually if I can get a little, then we're fine. Who wants to pull all of it off? Okay. Let's go right like so. Yep, Wiggly, we are, or JW Gilly. We are working on the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along, a project that we started probably a couple of years ago now. We're going to do a tiny little bit of a tiny little bit of this the 4th week of every month, like for 2 days, just so we can keep moving this along. Instead of using the, Christy is asking what else could I have used instead of the marker, because now I've kind of got the marker stuck underneath there. I could have just done really light pencil, or I could have just not done anything and put a light table underneath and shown it through and then placed my pieces with the light table underneath. That's probably, I gotta cut this piece off. That's probably the fanciest, but probably most effective way to not have lines. But I think we're gonna be fine still. I could have also just not have been perfectly like the other one. I could have just like eyeballed it, the placement of things too, but I didn't want to deal with all that. I wanted it to be right in the right spot. So I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. Like I said, after I haven't taken off any of the water-soluble marker from any of my other blocks yet either, so I'm probably just going to put it in the wash and not bother. There we are. And I think this will probably be fine after that. Oop, little fuzzle. Cute. This is going to be so cute. All right, let's do number 3. It's a funny little scrap. It's a little flaw in the fabric there, so I want to avoid that. I think we have tons of space yet. All right, this is number 3. This is, I think, the biggest one. Right in the center. Ooh, that got a little wrinkly. It wants to fall off, which I don't want because I don't want my iron touching it. Ugh, hopefully this is fine. Oh, I can definitely see that my iron, like I can see some coming out at the side. So I think I might not get it right at the top. So yeah, I'm just gonna fuse it at the bottom here because I don't want to get the fusible moved a little bit and I don't want it on my iron. Luckily this is sticky, so I am just going to cut it out, and then I won't have that edge anymore. I won't have it like sticking out the side. It'll just be like a nice perfect edge, so then we'll still be able to fuse it fully on our final piece. And I think we'll probably just do this one yet, stick this on, and we'll continue this tomorrow. Man, even if tomorrow, I think we'll actually get sewing tomorrow, but even if we got to the point that all of these pieces are just done and fused on, that'd be a great position to be in, because then they won't move, they'll be there. We won't have like little pieces hanging out everywhere for next time we work on the block. Okay, I'm calling that, well, this is a nice piece yet. Gotta save all these little baby pieces. But yeah, so if this sits around till next month, like if we don't get the full thing done, then it will be all in one piece. And this will all just stay out here overnight, and tomorrow we will work on this again, and then Wednesday through Friday we'll work on a few other fun little projects, and one of those I want to be using that new darning speed weaver tool that I got, that I showed you guys last week. I haven't used it yet, and I really want to give it a try, so we'll do that. Yeah, you can see my numbers and everything underneath here. Oh well. I'll be able to wet it from the back too, and it'll come out. So once it's all fused and sewn, we'll deal with my markings on the back there. So all right, so we'll do these 2 hearts tomorrow, and then we got to pick fabrics for the leaves. But I am thinking this is just turning out so sweet already. See, those can just stick on there for now. They're not fully fused. They're just with that Steam-A-Seam 2 is sticky on both sides. Most fusibles are not sticky. You just fuse them on and then they hold. But these are like sticky to like pre-stick them, and you can move them around and stuff before the final fuse, which makes it great. What kind of stitch do you use for your applique? I am literally just going to do a straight stitch because that is all my sewing machine does. This little dude is just going straight. So I'm just going to put like a tiny little straight stitch edge on it. I don't have any decorative stitches. I don't even have a zigzag. So that's all I'm doing. But I did that for the rest of this quilt. I wonder if I have an applique example here. Oh yeah, so like here, this one's fusible, like what we're doing now, with a little tiny stitch around the edge, and I think it just is sweet. I think it looks fine, so that's what we're kind of going with. Oh no, I'm not hand stitching it. I am hand stitching. I'm going to do embroidery for these lines here yet. Those will get embroidered, but I'm not going to do that till the whole thing's done. I tried hand stitching through this one other time. This is a little bit lighter than, this is the light Steam-A-Seam 2, not the just plain Steam-A-Seam 2. So theoretically, I could possibly stitch through it, but I don't know. That's still a lot of layers to be stitching through. Even one layer of quilt weight fabric is kind of difficult to hand embroider through sometimes, so yeah, I'm going to avoid that. I'm just going to do that tiny little machine sewn edge, and I think that's pretty cute, actually. So, all right, this is going to stay here. Hopefully none of my little leaves blow away, and none of my little hearts. Oh, and this guy's going to go here and here. I don't want to lose the placement of those either. But this blue, I am totally digging. I think this is going to turn out cute. All right, you guys, so thank you again for joining me here tonight. Whew. It feels like when the weekend goes by, it just feels like forever, doesn't it? So I'm happy to be here again. And man, it feels like forever since we've worked on this project too. It's actually probably been about 2 or 3 months since we've worked on the Splendid Sampler. So I was paging through like my video stills, and it was all the way back when we were doing the winter snowflake mandala embroidery. So that was like at least 2-3 embroideries ago, embroidery of the months ago. So it's been a little while for the Splendid Sampler too, but we are not forgetting about it. We are still working on it, and it's still fun. I'm excited. We've been a little bit away from quilt land, so it's fun to jump into it again. So all right, we'll work on this again tomorrow and then play around with some other things the rest of the week. So thank you again for joining me. It's lovely to see you all again, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.